realize I'm 6'3".
That is awesome.
Look at here, Joe. We are in a selfie culture. We've got to leave time for a little selfie.
I'm a Texan, so I feel like I have to.
I'll be getting closer.
We really wanted to come back to Kansas City, and the last year that we were here, we were just so honored by the turnout, and it was such a exciting, it was almost palatable to some extent, so we're really happy to be back, and we're thankful for Kansas City and all the support it's given us. I couldn't believe it because somebody on Twitter said, where would you live if it weren't Waco? And I just was like, Kansas City, and I just said it definitively like that, and I was like, I probably just offended like 98% of the viewing audience, but it was the first thing that popped out of my mouth, and I meant it. So we love Kansas City. You know, that's a great point.
The buildings. I mean, when we drive downtown, like all the architecture,
sure.
It just every time we find another street, we just feel like, oh, this is an amazing district. There's just so much, really, I don't know, a lot of characteristics here that I think remind you of a big city, but also
Sure.
feels small town. It feels really quaint.
And even today we were driving around, it seems like every third building, you know, you'll see a building that seems like it's turn of the century, and then there'll be a beautiful brand new building next to it. You know, it's really cool the way it's kept its culture. And of course the Power and Light District, the last time we came down, we walked up and down the streets. It was just beautiful. I wish mine was that tied to our profession. My reason for loving Kansas City is I grew up a big George Brett fan. And so, you know, he was a hero of mine as a kid. So I've become I've always been a Royals fan. But last year when they won the World Series, you know, I was cheering them all the way to the finals. Home improvement standpoint, I'm kind of a curb appeal person. So I would think about landscape, I would think about shutters, I would think about painting your front door, adding sconces to the elevation of your front door, simple things like that really make a big difference from the exterior standpoint, kitchen to the bath.
Well, I always love the idea of kitchen because a lot of that you can do yourself. You can tear out your backsplash, you can learn really quick how to install a specific type of tile. That stuff is, I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that's what we were doing. We were learning how to use the saw and figuring out things about grout. But I think one thing that I've seen within this last year is I feel like a lot of people just want their spaces to be practical.
You know, there's elements about our show that you can take back with you even when you live in the city. You know, you don't have to go out and get goats. You don't have to have chickens per se. But there's elements of the shows that I think really connects to people, whether they live in the city, whether they live on acreage like we do. And I think a year ago, if I had to quantify it, that light bulb sort of clicked, like people are really connecting with this in a big way, and it was honestly really unbelievable to be a part of.
And even when he said surreal, it feels like sometimes it's not, like when people are watching this, it feels like it's not us. Like we're like, no, that's just us, and then, you know, people, it's just kind of a weird feeling where it's like
out of body experience.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having us. What a pleasure. We'll see you guys in just a bit. All right.